her smile. Careful, we almost thought we lost you for a while.
I'm just gonna use this. Well, you notice how a lot of these try the chair. Try the chair. Who can do?
Can you do the chair?
I'm not going to embarrass myself with the chair. I know all about the chair. Does any of you? Can any of you guys do the chair?
Jared.
Jared did. Do it. Christina did too. So hi, I'm Mr.Wong. And we just got in. We live in New York right now, so we're here for a few shows and also for the holidays. And we've come a couple times to visit Mr. Wong's class and talk to you guys about basically anything you want to talk about. So why don't we just open it up? You guys can ask us questions, or I think if it's Question Friday. Woo! Me first.
Friday a day early.
How long have you been playing? Do you play instrument? Fun conversation.
I've been playing since I was about 5 or 6. Started on piano, of course, and then begged my parents to take drums, and then they got me one drum. And they said, you have to practice this one drum for 3 years and then we'll get you another drum.
Was that to see how badly you wanted it?
I think it was. I think they wanted to see.
Or we got on set though. We got on set eventually.
After how many years?
After 23 years.
You guys after 3 years you got me.
Yes,
No, 5 years. I think they didn't want the house cluttered up with the drum set if I wasn't serious about it. So. And then I started playing guitar about 10 years ago. And other anything you can hit, I like to play.
So actually, I wanted to ask something, if that's okay. Like, maybe not like talk all at once, but I'm just curious, like you guys are in high school, you know, you're starting to think about maybe what's going to happen after you guys graduate and go out in the world. Like probably you guys are going to college or maybe going to work or taking time off to figure it out. But are a lot of you thinking about going to college for this time? But I did actually go to college, and I started out pre-med. I was taking biology and chemistry, and then I switched over into computer science, and then got interested in history. So I was, you know, in a way I was kind of wandering around for a while. And it took a long thought process for me to figure out that music was like this one thing that I seemed to be pretty good at and that other people valued a lot, and that I wanted to pursue it and like be the best that I could be at it. So if you guys have any questions or thoughts about that whole process, you can ask us that too, because we have kind of 2 different routes of getting to what we do today. And even if you're not going to go into music or the arts necessarily, it's sometimes kind of cool to hear like how people made their decisions to end up where they're at.
Well, what kind of questions are you guys wrestling with now? Like, you guys are seniors?
Yeah.
Most of us.
So. Are you going backwards?
Even Mr. Wong makes fun of me.
Yeah, but you can lift the chair, and that counts for a lot. So what are the things that make you guys freak out the most when you think about next year or after high school, after college, if there's such a thing?
Maybe the transition. When you go on like undeclared, I think this is normal for you, but if you go on undeclared, is it kind of hard to find out what you want to do, or is it more of like is it harder to find out? Like for now, I really don't know what I want to do, but like later on? Is it harder to figure out what you want to do, or do like the classes kind of show you all aspects of like all the, I don't know how to say it, like the material, I guess?
Yeah.
Fields?
Well, I think that one thing that I got completely wrong when I was going into school was that I didn't realize how much time you have. It just seemed like you had to make all these decisions right away, and once you made them, it was like carved in stone, and that was it, and you were sentenced to that for the rest of your life. They would throw away the key, you know. But there's so many points along the way that you can decide other things or learn that you like something else, and there's always, if you want to do something else, there's always a way to do it. You may have to, it may be more of a hassle, you may have to retake things, you may have to take more units than somebody else, but you know, there's always a way to do what.
Yeah, I think that I would say it's useful if you go in not knowing what you want. It's kind of useful to maybe define like 2 or 3 or whatever different things that you know you're interested in, or like you can sort of start to identify the things you think you're good at, and then just sort of like explore those things. And usually, like especially freshman or sophomore year of college, there'll be these classes that you're taking with like hundreds of other people, and like you have to compete with them, you know, when you take tests and stuff like that. So there is a certain point when you like might get an indication of like, here are the things you are really good at, and here's the things that you just sort of thought you were good at or thought you were interested in, but you realize you're not that interested. And then there are things that maybe just come out of left field. Maybe you take a random class because a friend of yours like signed up for it, and then you get really, really excited about that. But it's just a matter of like staying open to ideas, but also like trying to really make decisions about like, here's what I'm interested in, here's what I'm going to explore. Because I think there's a difference between exploring a couple of different paths and actually wandering around. Because I think the first is more productive than the other.
How did both of you guys get into the music field, though, if you started out of college and then you guys were studying different majors, but how did you get music into that pathway?
Well, you actually studied music in college, right?
Yeah, I was, I guess, different in that I was doing it pretty seriously. Like in high school, I really knew that I wanted to go into music. I didn't know anything about going into music, but I knew that I wanted to study it, so I went into college as a music major and graduated with a degree in music, and then went into the wilderness of the music world after that, which then took me on lots of different winding paths, but I think you had a more roundabout.
Yeah, I guess
way.
The way it started for me was that I took piano lessons, I guess, big surprise. I took piano lessons through when I graduated from high school, and but at the time I just thought, well, this is something I really like, and I really like writing songs, and I really like making music, but I don't think that's a career really. Like, I don't know how I would ever make that my job. So I would fantasize about it, but then think that that was never going to happen. And I thought that I would go into like medicine or engineering or something like that. And then in college I kind of got to this point where I really liked medicine, but I didn't think I was very good at it. And then there was engineering, which I was kind of good at, but I didn't know whether I cared enough about it to make a career out of it. So I was trying to figure that out. And right around that time I started to get a lot of encouragement from really random strangers, basically.